say it again. Bryant McFadden used to play for the Steelers.
Okay.
Quote, ooh, Omar is working, referring to their front office. The Steelers are very close to landing a significant playmaker. Okay? Hashtag, here we go. Hashtag, stay tuned. Our people have done some work behind the scenes and found out that indeed this is referring to a wide receiver. And there are some in the Steelers community that believe that the 49ers are the target of this tweet. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
We have a rebuttal.
An official, formal rebuttal?
On the possibility of Brandon Aiyuk or Deebo being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, an anonymous league source tells 95.7 The Game, quote, nothing is going on there involving the 49ers.
So there is no there, is what you're saying.
Correct.
With the 49ers and a possible Pittsburgh deal.
Correct.
All right.
So I'm back to breathing easy again.
Put that baby right to bed.
Yeah.
And if we got action is Bryant McFadden's tweet, and he was talking about what, the Niners and another team that possibly could be involved.
The other name that came up was Cortland Sutton, who I feel like the Broncos have been flirting with the idea of trading for over a year and a half.
Okay.
That was the only other name that came up. What other wide receiver is, quote, available right now?
Well, Tyler Boyd is still unsigned, right, at this hour?
Yeah. Landing a significant playmaker. If you tweet, ooh, about to land a significant playmaker, and you sign Tyler Boyd, I think the fan base should be like, back to Wiggins.
He's a wide receiver 3.
Correct.
In Cortland Sutton.
What he has been, yeah.
Sutton is a 1, but only because, Denver's not very good.
Well, he's a 1 because Judy didn't work out. Judy was supposed to be the 1, and he wasn't. So, yeah, that's the only name at this point that's kind of known. I think there's others out there that could percolate. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea how quickly anything like this happens, but I look around the league and I think to myself, okay, like how is the Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle thing going to work out in due time? Jalen Waddle is actually the one who's experiencing in Miami what people think Brandon Aiyuk is experiencing here. The whole, like, I'm way too good to not be getting more targets. I don't think Brandon is that, like, at least my sense and the people I talk to, I don't think that's bothering him that much. Does it bother him? It bothers every receiver that they don't get the ball on every
play. Right.
So yes, but is it like something where he wants to leave? I think not.
No, we talked to TJ Houshmandzadeh, his personal coach, and TJ said, I think no less than 5 times, he just wants to get paid.
He wants to pay.
He wants to get paid. He wants to stay. He wants to be paid. And everything else will work itself out after that. And even though he doesn't get the ball as much as many of the guys, he still manages to rack up yards that most of the receivers don't.
I'm looking around the league. I know, Justin Jefferson is up for an extension. The Vikings are going to get that done. CeeDee Lamb is up for an extension. The Cowboys are going to get that done. Who else is out there that would be a big name? The Bills have already done all of their work. I don't know. Odell Beckham is still on the market. He's available. Is that a significant playmaker?
I don't think so anymore.
Used to be.
Right. Jalen Waddle's an interesting one because he got extended and his deal ends at the end of 2025, so 2 more years with Miami, and he's making next year he'll only make 8.6 on the cap, and then the year after that is when his extension kicks in and he makes 15.6 at that point.
I would imagine Miami has no interest in giving up somebody who is outperforming his contract. But at the same time, again, I don't believe that Jalen Waddle is extremely happy with the way that offense runs.
Right, and it goes back to the point that we've discussed with the 49ers over and over again, and that is the idea of a team wanting to pay 2 receivers more than $25 million, And I know Tyreek Hill's contract at the end of it is mostly funny money, but Jalen Waddle at the end of next year, when he's going to be entering the final year of his deal, he probably is going to want an extension. And is Miami going to be in a spot where they want to give him huge money? So that's actually an interesting name as it pertains to a wide receiver who could be potentially a target.
Yeah, we'll follow that situation, but the further we get through this week and this weekend, the more comfortable I get with where the 49ers currently sit. I'm not someone who is going to overreact to names that we've got to see if they can play in the league. And I mean that about everybody now. Like, I know how fun it is. I was listening to the roast this morning. They had an interesting conversation about the landscape of the NFC. And Spadone even jumped in and was like, hey, the Bears might be good. And he's not wrong. C.J. Stroud, as a rookie, made the Texans good, and he's got incredible weapons all over the place now. Incredible names.
Yeah.
And many of them have performed in the league. DeAndre Swift is on the Bears now. The receiving core, the Bears receiving core has been a disaster for I can't even remember how long. Now DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and you draft Rome Odunze, that gets super interesting. Maybe they're good. Maybe they're still the Bears. And that division is difficult because Detroit is already good and Green Bay is already good. And I don't know exactly what's happening with Minnesota's quarterback situation, but it's a quality organization that gives people problems. And so, you know, that division could be excellent. We know the NFC West could be excellent. We know the NFC East could be excellent. I don't know about those bottom two teams and what exactly they're doing. And now the Falcons join the ranks of viable teams. Out of the
they
NFC
were just
South.
a quarterback away last year, and now they've got a quarterback, assuming Kirk Cousins can play through the Achilles operation and be healthy enough to go. They've got all kinds of weapons down there in Atlanta. So
they might even do something crazy this year. Again, league sources tell me that the Falcons are considering, wait for this now because this is big.
Okay.
They might give the ball to Bijan Robinson and let him run.
And let him run.
And let him run. Might happen.
That'd be groundbreaking.
Again, I know I'm not the only one who's a little scarred by Bijan Robinson last year.
You did fine, Mark. You won the damn league.
I won in spite of the Falcons coaching staff.
You had both B. Robinsons on your team.
That's right.
As I recall.
And the other one ended up usually being better.
Yeah.
And Bijan that guy might be one of the most talented running backs in the league. And there were weeks where they're just like, yeah, we're not going to give him the ball. And then there were weeks where they're like, and now we're not even letting him off the sideline. Healthy and watching.
Right.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
It's a great question.
Yeah, but the NFC gets real interesting. Who can you tell me for sure stinks?
For sure?
For sure. Almost like, and there's never for sure, but like almost for sure.
I don't think Arizona's very good.
Okay. I'll take the New York Giants.
Okay. They're probably not very good. Washington is interesting, but I don't think that they're going to be very good. I still think they're a year away.
Probably. Jaden Daniels, super interesting.
Right.
But yeah. And then Carolina. Carolina's another one where I'm like, that's not good. They're not good.
Right.
So, and then past that.
What about New Orleans? What are we thinking about New Orleans?
They're limited. They could be okay.
Yeah.
Like they're one of those teams that's battling to go 9-8 every year in that division.
True.
They could do it again. They could go 10-7. The Bucks, same kind of thing. And now the Falcons, I think their ceiling's a little bit higher. But the number of teams that we can go through and be like, they're not ready or they're not good, like you're not even going to use your whole hand.
Right. I mean, we got to like 4, maybe 5 teams right there.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the West, you've got the Rams and Seattle. They're going to be good. Not great.
They
but
could be.
Right. And the Niners should be.
The Rams could be really good. Or not, but they could be.
Right.
I don't know how well. I know they drafted hard to replace Aaron Donald over the weekend. And so if those guys perform, I mean, my God, you want to talk about a receiving core now.
Yep.
Like that, this is pretty dynamic. So if
and Philly as well, great receiving core.
Yep.
And a quarterback who has been phenomenal in the regular season. Dallas looks to be the same Dallas they were last year, which means 12-5 and see you later in January.
Maybe. Dallas did a big old we didn't get better campaign this offseason. And I'm trying to figure out why. Like they just kind of sat there and watched everything go by. Certainly in free agency. I know they made picks and maybe they're good. You know, they need to address running back. They bring back Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
Like I'm not too clear. Like they're already talented, so I guess that, you know, we're talking at about a pretty high level, but I'm not clear on what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. I don't know what their approach is right now.
Yeah. Maybe it's wait and see. They're taking the wait and see approach. And Tampa should be good again.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, you know.
I know you have a crush on Baker.
Not a crush. I'm just impressed with what he's done to resurrect his career. He had a good year last year.
We are sponsored by O'Reilly.